Yeah.
in August, and oh man,
Yeah.
3 was a fun age, and now she's full of sass, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, I got 4 nephews. I got 2 nieces. I got a niece and 3 boys. 3 nephews. They are great. They're all range from like age 3 to 4 to 6, and it's like. But the bigger one's almost 8 years old, and man, he's a karate pro. Like he's like everything, dude. He's MMA, man. He takes the black showman, showman school, and got second place in his karate, and he plays piano. He's an actor too, man. He does it all.
A little prodigy over there, right?
Yeah. But he has the sense of the humor of his uncle, so which is the best,
That's what matters. Yeah.
I don't think they have seen my wrestling stuff like yet. Like I've never told them about my wrestling. One of these days they'll be like, because they like to play my figures though.
Yeah.
But
it's my little 4-year-old. He knows I'm a wrestler, but I don't know if he really knows what I do.
No.
I'm trying to be that good parent and
yes.
not influence too early, but
right.
It's one of those things like I'm worried what she would do if she knew what I did really, and then tried to reenact.
Right, take her to her show and see what it's all about, But
hey, she's 4 years old, knows how to chew sweet, and can do sweet chin music. So I guess that's a start.
It's a plus. That's a plus, right? She just doesn't have to. Don't throw no roaring elbows or whatever. You're all set. Like Chris Hero kind of moves, or
Yeah, I'll be bending over, and she'll try to do a running Canadian destroyer on me.
Yeah, I know. Kids are trying to do everything these days on their parents. It's funny,
Oh yeah.
It's not like when we grew up, I remember when I was like a kid, my neighbor set up a garage. We had like garbage bags piled on the floor, and we had ropes, boat ropes, from the local marina, set them up as the turnbuckles inside the garage. It was the old school setting.
Awesome.
And my buddy had a set stage prop setting, like he made it look like Piper's Pit, And then we had a steel cage. His buddy was like Georgie Animal Steel. He actually cut the blood, making it look real. It was cool, But he lost the DVD, the video of that. But I remember just being a young kid, just like, hey, the Destroyer. Okay, that was my name back, Like you had the crazy little names of the neighborhood kids, wrestling wasn't big, I'd jump off a ladder, come on, like, be goofy with my other buddies,
Yeah. Well, me and my little brother and our neighborhood friends growing up, anytime we saw a trampoline or a pool, we saw a wrestling ring.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like my pool too, That would be like the place to, or the pen, the dog pen, for a cage match. We'd throw up some cage matches here and there,
Yeah.
And just to act out, our favorites. Who'd you look up to growing up? Who was your influences?
From growing up?
Yes.
Okay. Let me think. Like especially from when I was a kid, who stood up the most to be, and then when I broke into the business, I would have to say Goldberg.
Yeah.
And then because Goldberg, he had that presence.
Yes, he did.
I didn't watch much during the Monday Night Wars. I wasn't that into wrestling at that point, but I still knew who Goldberg was.
Yeah.
And even when I broke into actually watching wrestling as a kid and becoming a fan, he still had that presence. And he was such a big guy, but he could move.
Yeah.
And then the next person that really was like my all-time favorite guy growing as a kid that I tried to incorporate every now and then was then Rob Van Dam.
Oh, cool. Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, I just liked his style. I liked his look. I was that kid that grew up loving dragons and all the yin-yangs, the different, like everything he liked on his gear, I liked you know.
Yeah, and like influence,
you
know, and influences like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat too, you know, people like that.
Yeah.
You know, and like.
I mean, like I was a huge fan, you know, of course, it's HBK.
Yeah.
And the wrestling taboo name of Crispin
Wall. Yes.
I'll say I was a huge Crispin Wall fan.
Yeah, I think we all were. You know, it was like one of the guys that really showed what he could do in the ring for all companies. Whatever he worked, ECW, come on, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like he. But yeah, Benoit is a good one. Eddie Guerrero, you know, everybody always mentions Eddie Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Because I mean, I like growing up as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
I knew of wrestling. I saw it every now and then, but I just I never fully got into it. You know, I was a kind of a sheltered kid.
Sure.
And I liked my cartoons. I liked my Power Rangers. I grew up as an Iron Man fanatic.
Yeah.
All comic stuff. So that was like my main.
I know. I think back to He-Man days, and you know, we had all the G.I. Joe and all that. You know.
Right. Exactly. You know, I grew up as the Dragon Ball Z fanatic. I mean, I think that was what me and my friends did more than anything. Was either drawing Dragon Ball Z or we thought we were characters from Dragon Ball Z.
Or we would play Super Mario Brothers, you know. And watch the Saturday and to watch the Saturdays with Captain Lou Albano, you know.
Yeah. And I remember I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And we had assigned lunch tables.
Yeah.
And every Tuesday, basically all throughout the whole week.
Yeah.
A kid named Chris Tucker and the other guys, Andrew Steele and I think Casey Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't want to just sit here quietly and be that weird kid.
Yeah.
That fucked anymore. So I started watching.
Yeah.
And I got hooked. And this was around the time that Crispin Wall won the Royal Rumble. So in that first, and he lasted the whole thing and won it, and then went to win the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that's officially where I got hooked on wrestling. And I didn't talk to those guys ever again after that year, but I still watched wrestling. Yeah. And I kept watching because it just something about these like larger than life characters that really stuck to me.
Yeah.
And so when I think of my initial hey, I'm a kid watching wrestling, that's what I go back to was that age and era. Yeah,
the Hulk Hogan era, and like Macho Man was my big era. You know, like the big Mega Powers explosion. You know, I tell everybody every week, and I don't care. I tell them every podcast to everybody. I was 5. You know, I got lucky and I went to WrestleMania 5 with my father. You know.
Wow.
And sat nosebleed seats in Atlantic City, 5 rows next to Jesse the Body Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon doing commentary. Like, how cool. Like, and my Mega Power fluorescent sign, you know.
So, yeah, that's awesome. It's funny because one of the promotions I work for every month, Renegade Wrestling Alliance, RWA, out of Newton, Pennsylvania, just recently I started tagging with the baddest man alive, Aaron Williams.
Ooh, okay.
And, you know, like that night, he was getting jumped by Shane Andrews and Colin Delaney, who, former ECW star.
Yes.
And he's got a lot of things going for him right now, a huge possibility. I'm not going to say anything.
No.
But there's a huge chance that he could be making a big break, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
So I run out.
Yeah.
And I save Aaron.
Yeah.
And, I had a match with Shane later that night.
Right.
And Colin came out, interfered, being the, quote, bad boys. Aaron runs out. He takes me.
Yeah.
And, out of gratitude, I'm like, hey, man, thank you. I reach my hand out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he grabs his wrist and sticks his hand out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we're really going to do this.
You should.
He just gave me this look. I'm like, okay. So I do the big, handshake.
Yeah.
He sticks his finger in the air, and the crowd goes crazy. We show up the next month to the tag together, and there's people holding signs saying Mega Powers 2.0. And it's like,
that's crazy.
Right,
wasn't that cool when he actually got to do that. He did the he was like the paramedic. Remember when he did the paramedic at the Monday Night Raw? Did you see that? Or for wrestling?
Yeah,
that was pretty. Or that for the pay-per-view, that was really awesome for Kevin. With him and Steen and just doing the run-in. That was pretty awesome to be.
Yeah.
That's cool when all the guys can do. You guys can do all that stuff. Like be a surprise. Like just what happened on Saturday night. Maria, Amazing Maria, was just on. That was pretty cool. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
So.
It's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Being an extra for WWE, I've done it 5 times now in the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a surreal moment.
Yeah.
I remember my first time there.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. I was with like one of my proverbial big brothers in the business, Danny Dollar.
Yeah.
I followed his lead because he had done it before, and he's like, we're going to get there, and nothing's going to be set up. Just watch what they do in this 4 to 6 hour time frame, and just watching the Monday Night Raw.
I know.
Start from just a regular stadium to this giant Titantron and everything, and then your SmackDown. Mm-hmm. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But then, to be there is one thing, but then, when you get thrown in on TV,
it's like, wow.
It's crazy.
I know. And like my other friend, one of my, Joe Gacy has been on there. He faced, he was thrown in with Strowman Shield, that Broman Shield or whatever the hell that team is, Those big dudes. Go ahead. You were saying? I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're fine, man.
Yeah.
Because like my first time there, I did what was it, Fastlane, in Memphis.
Yeah,
we were in Atlanta for Raw, I think, and then it was Fastlane, Memphis, Raw in Nashville, and then we were in Atlanta for SmackDown. Fastlane, I was a druid for Bray Wyatt.
Oh no! No kidding! Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was one of the druids carrying the casket out.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the most goosebump-giving moments I've ever had. Yeah. Because I'm walking out during an Undertaker entrance.
Yep, and then you see all the lights, from the cameras, the phones, cell phones, the fireflies, as he says, the fireflies, as he always called it.
Well, I mean, this wasn't even a Bray Wyatt entrance. This is when Bray Wyatt was going out to challenge the Undertaker.
Oh, okay.
We were out there as the Druid, doing the Undertaker entrance, and then Bray Wyatt's casket.
Yeah. So that's pretty.
Just standing there. During walking him down during the entrance, the crowd, you could just feel those goosebumps, those chills, because it's the Undertaker.
Dude, and the Undertaker, he's awesome. Dude, the Undertaker's really what people don't realize. He was awesome in his.
And that was so cool. I mean, no one knew that was me. Yeah. I didn't. I was there, and it was so cool to be a part of. Then to go back and watch. Well, then the next day. In Nashville, all of us, this was when Adam Rose was still there, and we were Rosebuds. And I remember me and Danny were standing there, and I had spent about almost a year wrestling in the Tennessee, Nashville area, and Danny's from Memphis. We were standing there, and there was a group of guys like, oh, hey, that's Danny Dollar and Daniel Eads. They're like, oh, hey, keep it down. Don't distract us, but hey, guys, it's cool to see you. And being recognized like that right then and there. But then the next night, I was part of a scene with Miz and at the time Damien Mizdow. Yeah, and it was during the male performance enhancement pill commercial. Yeah, and I was the director for that. Oh, jeez. And and then that was that moment. Yeah, that everyone was blowing up my Facebook and Twitter, like, oh hey, who's that guy? We know that guy.
Oh man. Cool. He's getting all this publicity.
The family, share that. It's like, that was so cool to see myself on national TV.
Yeah. That's so, I know, people don't realize, and it's, cool to watch it over and over again. You're like, yes, I did something special, And
I mean, I was a Rosebud a couple times. Yeah. but then like the next like